Ooh, this is no magic, my lord. This is a miracle. Oh yes, it's So I kind of don't remember where we left off, but I'm pretty sure, knowing myself, I stopped at a point where it'll refresh me. So we'll see how this goes. But I hope everyone else's day is just as good as mine. But let's go ahead and get into this. Oh, okay. That's right. So Rolly, we found out that Rolly was the one who moved the body, and we found out that the scene of the crime was tampered with. And then, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of where we're at. Okay. I thought it was an open and shut case at the time. You see, there were only the two people at the scene, and Pat and me both saw it happen. However, which way you looked at it, it had to be the fellow who ran off who done it, I thought. I couldn't see the harm, really. I didn't think moving it all over the road would make a jot of difference. I suppose this is it for me now. I've had it. Shame on you, Rolly. We went through so much shit. You had a Japanese man damn near piss himself in jail because they thought he did it. Because you decided to move the body because you wanted to have a nice date with your wife. A nice first year anniversary. I get it. I understand it. You didn't want to work on the job because it was in your jurisdiction. But Rolly, you have to be responsible. You could have just been like, look, honey, we can do it. We can do it, next week. You can do that choking thing that you like to do to me so much. You could have just rescheduled it or something. I don't know. Oh, my lord. My Lord Van Zeeks, you are too damn fine. Yes, Lord Van Zeeks. I believe that concludes the cross-examination of the witnesses. And hi, Speedy, hello. Constable, you may withdraw. Yes, sir. Mr. Prosecutor, sir. What will become of my Rolly? What will happen to him? He going to jail. That's what's gonna happen. For now, you are free to go home. The police will contact you in due course. He better go to jail. Because you're about to kill a Japanese man. He better go to fucking jail for what he did. Please, don't punish my husband. This was all my fault. It's because I'm always moaning at him for coming home late. Oh boy. Leave it now, Pat. Let's go home. I'm tired. Just leave it alone, Patricia. All right then, my love. One last thing, Constable. Sir? Let this be a lesson to you. In a criminal investigation, every detail matters, however insignificant it may seem to you. Yes, sir. Carve that lesson in your mind. And never again make the mistake of tampering with the scene of a crime. Can I carve you in my mind, Van Zeeks? Because you're always in my mind. Every time I stream. Never again, sir? You mean to say... Leave now. This trial is not yet... Are you really gonna let him... Okay, no, look. That is some bullshit. Because if it was a Japanese man, because the lady didn't die, she just incapacitated, you would have fucking hung his ass. Oh, but no. Your own people. You're fine with just slapping him on the wrist. I see how it is. Okay. I see how it is. Sir. Okay, I see how it is. You're just gonna slap him on the wrist. He damn near almost killed a guy. But you're just gonna give him a slap on the wrist. Okay. Well, quite a startling revelation, I must say. Well, Rolly didn't do anything at all other... No, but it was the fact that he moved shit that he was going to end up pinning the crime on somebody else. an innocent man was about to get charged with attempt at murder and most likely hanged, because this is like old as bumfuck old times. So more than likely he was gonna get hanged and killed because of that thing that Rolly did, and he was not supposed to do that. It's literally in his rule book. He knew what he was doing. I can understand if like it was something that was unintentional, but he literally purposely moved the body over to the other side, to the different jurisdiction, to leave it for another cop to take care of. But then, you know, a guy just happened to come through and got the crime pinned on him, and he was trying to pin the crime on him, going along with the story too. So he knew what he was doing. It's not that old. They have guillotines. It's still old. Guillotines or not, it's still old. But he was gonna pin it on some guy. Either way, like, him and Pat had a story and everything. Like, he was going along with the story. Like, he was gonna pin it on him, knowing damn well if he was guilty, he would have died. So, no, I'm not gonna press A. Anyways, whoever thought of a third party transplanting the entire scene of a crime like that? Indeed, my lord. Nevertheless, there are some immutable facts here. Principally, that the accused, Mr. Soseki Natsume, is the only person who could possibly have committed this crime.
Objection!
No, I disagree. No. Now that we know the true scene of the incident, there is someone else. Another person who could be responsible for the knives on the victim's back, and that is the wife of that one guy. Forgive me for being presumptuous, but I believe the prosecution is probably well aware of this possibility already. Lord Van Zeeks, is this true? Very well. Name the person, if you will, and if further investigation is warranted. The prosecution has no objection to the trial continuing. You will name this other person who could have perpetrated the crime. She's the only one, because she's the only one, because she was throwing shit at her husband, and she was throwing stuff out the window, and where the body was directly under the window, and I'm more than likely sure she threw a knife.
Take that!
Yes, we're right. Take that. The defense would once again like to request the cross-examination of a new witness, my lord. Once again? Yes. My assistant made the same request earlier. In order to finally reveal the truth about this case, it's imperative that we cross-examine juror number 4, Miss Joan Garadeb. Me? Oh, dearie me.
Objection!
Oh, I like it when you say objection. That request has already been denied. Look here, Van Zeeks. We're gonna go with this request whether you like it or not.
Objection!
Hey, thank you so much for the raid, Avid. I appreciate it. And hope you had a good stream, an awesome stream. And also, if you guys don't follow Avid, you should totally follow Avid. He's a cool guy. But the situation is very different now. Mrs. Garadeb, answer me this. What do you want now, you little toad? At the time of the incident, you were engaged in a violent argument with your husband, Mr. John Garadeb. In the course of the argument, a minor house fire was ignited. And to clear the smoke from the room, your husband opened a window that looks but over a briar road. Well, what of it? You threw this book at your husband when he was cornered with his back against the window. Upon striking the pane of the open top-hinged casement window, the book plummeted directly down, finding its way to what we now know to be the true scene of the incidents. Yes, and as I said, what of it? During the argument, you were beside yourself with rage. As such, you threw not just books, but anything you could lay your hands on. So, let me ask you one more time, Mrs. Garadeb. This knife, the one removed from the victim's back, have you really never laid eyes on it before? You better say yes. ... I'm waiting. I don't recall it. Bullshit. Seriously? Am I supposed to remember everything I picked up and threw at my husband? And anyway, the man over there in all that regalia said members of the jury needn't testify, didn't he? Conveniently, yes.
Objection!
Ooh. No, I have no recollection of saying that at all. Juror number, ooh, rare. Ooh, rare. Oh. Make no mistake, you jurors are not special in any way. You are not immune to the judicial process. Ooh, if you know something about this knife, madame, let the truth come out. But that's just a common or garden knife. It could have come from anywhere. We have several like that at home. If one went missing, how would you expect me to know? What's that? Are you joking? What are you saying? Please, Mrs. Garridev. Yes, please explain, miss. Now, you listen to me. I refuse to believe all this nonsense. I couldn't bear the thought that I just injured someone. Do you hear? I couldn't bear it. Oh, the poor woman. She's digging herself a deeper hole, like a super deep hole. So, yes, I want evidence. I want to see hard evidence if you're going to insist on this being my fault. You're going to have to prove to me that I threw that knife if that's what you think. Come along now, chop chop. Come along, not chop chop. Do your worst, bitch. I'm about to chop those cheeks off your face. Well, well, Mr. Naruhodo, if I had evidence like that, believe me, I would have thrown it at her all. I would have thrown it at her already. Then take the stand, juror. Oh. The prosecution does not object to the defense's request to cross-examine. What? Thank you, Van Zeeks. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Lord Van Zeeks. I'm going to have to testify? Juror number 4. As I'm sure you will appreciate having observed it with your own eyes today. Witness testimony can lead to the most extraordinary truths being unearthed. Hey, Mia Fell. No. You're not late. You're not late. It's fine. We're getting into the juicy bits. Like, it just started. Like, we getting in this shit now. Like, the juicy shit I feel is gonna start. I feel it. Truths of which the witnesses themselves may not even have been aware. Oh, dearie me. So I demand your full and unadulterated testimony, Mrs. Garridev. And mark my words, in this court of law today, we shall extract the truth. Do you concur, counsels? Certainly, my lord. Oh, yes, me too. Oh, that's what I'm hoping for, my lord. Damn, okay. I like how the music got hard. I like this. Ooh, court of justice, yes. This is such a strange feeling. For the first time since arriving in this country, it actually feels real. Ooh, yeah, I feel it. Ooh. Baby Jade, yeah, for real. Truth bombs are gonna fucking drop. I can't wait. You know what? Standing up and hearing this music and everything, like, I feel it. I'm here in the Old Bailey, and I'm a lawyer. 100% I'm a lawyer. All right, Mrs. Garridev. Witness, state your name and occupation. Oh, yes, my name is Joan Garridev. And I'm, well, I'm a juror, and such like. It sounds like even she doesn't know if she's a housewife or a maid or what anymore. The court has decided your testimony is required in order to testify matters in this case. Do you understand, madame? Yes, my lord. You will tell the court everything that took place in your household on the evening in question. And I warn you, do not attempt to hide the truth. Oh dearie me. It's not that, it's like, Van Zeeks can get all my truths out. It's not that scary. Chin up, Joni. Nothing to worry about now. What? Oh, oh! I didn't know you were here, John. I didn't know he was gonna be here. Oh, shit! Wasn't only you in that room that day, old thing, was it? Rather think I thought to testify as well, don't you? But what about your knee, dear? Don't you worry about that. Hardly notice it. I'm not the sort of chap to leave a comrade to face disciplinary action. You both about to receive disciplinary action. What? Oh, John. He's really gonna try to defend her. I presume you're Mr. John Garrideb? Yes, sir. Former 2nd Lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment of the 4th Northumberland Fusiliers, sir. Yeah. Seen my fair share of action and now living the quiet life, as it were. The quiet life? Were you not engaged in an incendiary battle with your spouse on the day in question? Well, yes, quite. I believe this may represent a first in the proud history of the British courts. Calling a juror to the witness stand is unprecedented. However, the court will hear your testimony now, juror number 4, and that of your husband. You will recount clearly and concisely the events in your home at the time of the incident in question. Sir, at once. Oh boy, we're gonna get some truths out. And the husband's gonna lie out of his goddamn teeth, 100%. The Battle of Girdim. Yes, on the day you're referring to, the wife and I did have a bit of a skirmish. Can't recall the reason now. The reason was because she saw a name inside your book, but okay. Knocked a candlestick over and set fire to the carpet. Soon had it out though, and got the window open. Meanwhile, I was picking up whatever I could find to throw at him. Plenty of knives around our place. Can't say I'd notice if one or two went missing, I'm afraid. But she still threw knives. She still threw. Okay. Okay. If that Bali thing in the victim's back really was one of ours, you'll have a job proving it, I think. Oh boy. Got to bring out the diction. No, my moderator, Chaos, he is my dictionary and thesaurus. Thank you, Chaos. You are the best mod ever. I love you. You're awesome. Oh, and Crafty Trouble, yeah, he is. Yeah, the judge gives off he gives off that Santa Claus vibe. Old Saint Nick vibes. He does. It sounds as though it was quite the battlefield in your household that evening. Although, an entirely one-sided assault, it seems. The enemy caught us on the hop, sir. Had no choice but to dig in and take defensive measures. To be honest, if the enemy had kept shelling us for another minute, we'd been toast. Of course, a veteran such as myself is only too aware that on every battlefield, you're just a gnat's whisker from death at any moment. Are we still talking about a marital quarrel here? Well, I must say I'm dubious that this testimony will shed any light on the origins of this jackknife. In combat, one's focus narrows such that surroundings are barely noticed. These witnesses may not be able to offer anything more than they have testified already. This may be a dead end. Van Zeeks may well be right. Well, whatever the chances, we only have this last cross-examination to uncover the truth, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, I'm afraid so. Very well, counsel. Begin your cross-examination. Yeah, see? Yeah, thank you, Chaos. Yeah. The Battle of the Garrideb. Alright. So let's just press everything because that's how it goes in this shit. Alright.
Hold it!
The reason is what you told us yesterday, I believe. Yes, that's right. If I remember correctly, it all started because of a note that was tucked into the pages of a book belonging to Mr. Garrideb. A rather passionate note, in fact. But Mrs. Garrideb found the note discovering her husband's little secrets. And she gave him a mighty number of slaps across the face for it, too. What a sordid state of affairs. Hell on earth. Even Van Zeeks is like, this is why I don't got a woman. Hell on earth. That's funny. I say, when a chap says he can't recall such things, it's common decency not to drag it all up. And besides, half of it was wide of the mark anyway. A likely story. Oh god, he's terrified of her. These waters run very deep. Oh my god. And what transpired next after these couple blows to the face? Oh god. So you knock the candlestick over.
Hold it!
And the fire also spread to some items of furniture. Right? Yeah. The bookcase, my armchair, anything of mine really. Just so happens there was some bath water around that evening, so I sloshed that about to put it out. A most precarious situation you put yourself in. Ours is a 3-story townhouse on the west side of the street, where the water main isn't connected yet. Have to draw water from a public water pump during the day if you need any. You see, damn, that is, wow. The lofters are always moaning that they can't get any water at night. Although, that little mustache Japanese man buys water in bottles, I believe. The defendant, Mr. Natsume, you mean? Yes, he receives a stipend for his studies, you know, from his home country. Can you imagine being able to brew a pot of tea at all hours? He's obviously very well off. Have you actually seen the state of the man? I believe he uses all of his income to buy books. Well, anyway, the point is, I was able to douse the fire with water. Fortunately enough. Okay.
Hold it!
Even though the room was on fire. As far as I was concerned at the time, it was more important to extinguish my anger than the flames. When a woman wants to throw, she must throw. That is most certainly not true of a Suzato takedown, Mr. Naruhodo. I don't know, bitch. You keep throwing me, so it's probably true. How did she know I was thinking that? So please, cast your mind back and try to remember. Was a knife among the items that you threw at your husband that day? She's gonna say no. In all honesty, I don't recall. But I feel I must point out that I'm no monster. Let me see. Some bread, a cabbage, garlic, a towel, and a sponge, a napkin.
Excuse me!
Oh, excuse me, sir. Do you have something to add, sir? Maybe a knife? A garden pocket knife, sir? Mr. Garrideb? Don't shoot! Sorry, I beg your pardon? Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind? Nothing of any significance, no. Just that the barrage of projectiles the old thing launched in my direction was somewhat more solid than she implies. Books, bricks, and the fire poker, I seem to recall. Ouch. And the woman's aim is uncanny. She landed directly to every— I knew it. I fucking knew it. Good grief, woman. We're not at home now. This is the court of law. And you poured hot tea in his pipe. Now he's gonna have hot tea flavored pipe juice. Oh, dearie me. Ever so sorry, dear. What's she even doing with the teapot in here? Honestly, John, I would never have thrown such things at you, obviously. Well, take a look at this then. How do you suppose that happened, Your pipe, sir? Had this thing in my hand as usual at the time of the onslaught. Knocked it clean out with one of her soft projectiles. She did, yes. And now, and when I went to pick the thing up, it was broken in two. I'd like to see a sponge do that sort of damage. I see, your pipe was broken. It would have never been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Anyway, I've managed to bandage the thing up for now. You are one to exaggerate, aren't you, dear? Bitch, you're crazy. I wonder what we should make of this account. It could be important. It could be important. The defense believes Mr. Garrideb's remarks just now to be of great significance.
Objection!
This war veteran's words only tell us one thing. Betray a fiery wife, and pipes, as well as hearts, may be broken. So you agree, Van Zeke, so let me fucking put the statement in. Sentimental wisdom perhaps, but hardly worthy of adding to the formal testimony. Indeed. Common sense, one might say. Might one? In that case, would you at least permit us to examine the pipe, sir? Well, I don't see why not. Oh, dearie me. There you go again, trying to ingratiate yourself with a young lady. I think I say that right. Very well. The court will accept the gentleman's pipe as evidence. Ooh, let's go ahead and examine this, sir. I hope I didn't speak out of turn, Mr. Naruhodo. I was just feeling rather disappointed for you that your request was turned down. Oh no, it's fine. Thanks to Susato-san, we have some new evidence to work with. We should examine it carefully. Well, thank you for that rebuttal, Mr. Garrideb. Now, if we could return to the crux of the matter. What can he tell the court about the knife used to attack the victim? Alright, we're gonna examine this. Okay, present and examine. This is a pipe. It looks to be in a sorry state with that bandage around it, doesn't it? But for some reason, it feels slightly ominous. Ominous to me. Like it's trying to shout out a warning. Probably because it's the same blue as Mr. Garrideb's dressing gown. DRs are not the words for me tonight. I suppose it must have considerable sentimental value to Mr. Garrideb. Given that he's gone through the trouble of repairing it like this. Either that, or he can't afford to replace it. Right. Oh, wait, what is that? Opium? Oh, something just twinkled inside the chamber of the pipe there. Oh no, that's not opium, that's the tip of the knife! That's the tip of the knife. Yes, I saw it. Something stuck in there, I think. Let's turn it over and give it a shake. What's this? It's a tiny fragment of metal. It looks like the tip of a blade or something. The tip of a blade? Surely it couldn't be. That is the tip of the knife! The fragment of metal has been added into the court record. Okay, back. This is the tiny piece of metal we found in the chamber of Mr. Garrideb's pipe. It looks like the tip of a blade or something. The tip of a blade. Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? I don't really know. There's just something niggling at me, but I can't quite put my finger on what it is. Perhaps in that case, it would be wise to examine some of the other pieces of evidence again. Right, and then, is that going to connect at all with this? Let's open it. Ka-chung! Yep, and that's the piece right here. Ooh. It's the piece. It's that piece. It's the piece. Oh, look here, Miss Naruhodo, just at the tip. A small piece of the blade appears to be missing. Wait, part of it's missing? I could be wrong, but I've just got a feeling. You remember this? That's the tiny fragment of metal that we found inside Mr. Gyarados' pipe. Yes, and just maybe. Ooh. Oh my! It's a perfect fit! Somehow, I just knew it. I got you, bitch. You got you. Let me press him on this. I think it's on this statement. Does the stutter get more difficult the more you talk? Not really. The stutter happens like when a word comes by that kind of triggers the stutter, which is weird because it's more prominent in reading, because when I'm talking, I'm constantly like thinking of words that don't trigger the stutter, or certain like phrases or specific sentence structures, so then it's less likely for me to stutter. A lot of the times when I'm talking, if I know a word is gonna trip me up, I quickly like try to think of alternatives, and I've been doing that like my entire life. It's very like frustrating and exhausting, especially like when you want to just have a normal conversation or just want to have like a professional conversation with somebody, and then you have a stuttering issue, so then you don't sound as smart because you're not using the optimal words that you want to use, and you're using substitutes, and then it just makes you look a bit more unprofessional in some cases, and it gets annoying. But I get by. I try. Like I still try to push through it. Like at this point, like I'm just pushing through it. I don't let it bother me too much. I like the first thing you went was opium. It looked like an opium packet. It was triangular. That's not my fault. I saw a triangle. We're in like old school ages. I'm like, it must be opium. He doing drugs or some shit. He has a pipe. I thought he was doing drugs. Anyways, sorry, would you care to elaborate? Nothing to say, really. Rather partial to a spot of carving, you see. Pipes and whatnot. Fishing tackle, you know the sort of thing. It's a passion we both share. I like to carve little wooden trinkets too. And then there's my leatherwork. Sorry to say, we're always losing knives about the place. And we have dozens of the things. They sell them at the market sometimes. 20 for the price of 19. Needless to say, I snap them up. John prefers to use 2 knives at mealtimes too, instead of a knife and fork. The fuck? Now, Joan, we don't want people thinking that I'm some kind of... Here we go again with the scaldings. Why are they being so evasive? I imagine it's because they don't want to believe it. They can't bear the thought that it might have been one of their knives that injured the victim. Which is entirely understandable, of course, but still. Go on with your testimony, witnesses. Sir. Ooh, sir? Yes, sir. I'm gonna continue on with this. Aw, thank you for the gift sub, Anubis. Thank you. I mean, I appreciate it. That probably was really one of ours. You'll have a job proving it, I think.
Hold it!
Huh. And hope you're doing good, Anubis Libra. And hi, Official Waffles, hello! So, you have no intention of admitting it was your knife, unless we can produce proof? Huh? Even though there is no other credible possibility if Mr. Natsume is innocent?
Objection!
You forget, my Nipponese friends, that it has yet to be established that the accused is not responsible for the attack. As if I could forget. If only there was some way to know who had handled the knife. But I suppose a wizardry like that is just a dream. Perhaps you're thinking of fingerprinting, Mr. Naruhodo. What? You mean it's not a dream? That sort of wizardry really exists? I like how he calls it wizardry. Whenever people touch anything, they leave behind a unique pattern from their skin, or so they say. but I can't see anything. There are already countries in the world where these so-called fingerprints can be used as evidence. Lord Strongheart is currently discussing the matter at the Ministry of... Yo, are we gonna have, like, Unga Bunga fingerprinting on, like, the last case? Because that would be cool. That would be so cool. That would be so cool. Yes, I believe we are rapidly approaching an era of scientific methods of an investigation. But for now, we shall have to find an alternative method of proving our assertion. That this knife found in the victim's back was originally in Mr. and Mrs. Garridib's house. Ugh. If only I could transplant this whole incident to several years in the future. Well, your ancestor took a similar case like this in the future, so you cursed them. That's what happened. The phrase Unga Bunga fingerprinting sounds very interesting. What did I miss from the copper and his wife? The copper... Just slap your hands on everything existence. Yeah. Chaos, explain to Anubis what happened between Rolly and Pat. Because we already concluded that, but in short terms, Rolly essentially, he moved the body. He was the one who caused the confusion at the scene. So he started this whole miscommunication with this case. So now we're getting down to the deeps of the case and really finding out what's going on, like what happened. That's the extent of their testimony, is it? What do you think, Mr. Nadahodo? Well, I think we've heard all this before, to be honest. I can't say I'm particularly confident that we'll be able to prove anything new from this testimony. But in this cross-examination, it's absolutely essential that we establish how this knife came to be at the scene of the incidents. Yes, I know. I'm sure both of them must be feeling very worried. Worried that it was in fact a knife belonging to one of them that caused the victim's injury. If we could find even a tiny shred of evidence to support that theory, it would clinch this trial for us. It would explain everything. Yes, it would. So for Soseki-san's sake, we must. We must find that last crucial piece of evidence, which we did already. I just need to find the statement. Okay. Fire on a carpet. What'd she say here? Meanwhile, I was picking up whatever I could find. Okay, yeah. Plenty of knives around our place. Can't say I noticed one two went missing, I'm afraid. If that Bali thing in the victim was really one of ours, you'll have a... I think it has to be this statement. If it's not this statement, then it's the previous statement. But I'm pretty sure it has to be this statement. Now, which item to present?
Objection!
Ooh, wow, we got it right. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Mr. Garridib, could I ask you to take a good look at this, please? Pretty please. You can ask, but I can't see a Bali thing. You can't? You used to call me Dead-Eye Dev back in the regiment, of course. But that was some time ago now. Even when I'm trying to enjoy a large print book by the fire these days. I struggle to tell a B from a D and a P from a Q, to be honest. Oh, he does, dearie me. It's rather wearing being asked about every other letter and every other word. You must be very dizzy. Don't you ever do that to me again, Ryunosuke, because that fucked with me. Holy shit, like the speech connection in my brain was trying. I'm like, wait. Wait a minute. Okay. No, don't ever do it again. Don't ever do it again to me, please. What is that? A tiny scrap of metal? Yes, it is. Yes. Almost certainly from the tip of a blade. And what may appear at first to be just a tiny scrap is in fact a crucial piece of evidence. Interesting. And where did the defense come by this evidence? I like how Van Zieks is all chill and stuff. He's like, okay, you found evidence. And he's trying to keep cool cool and hard about it. He's like, all right, go on. It was lodged in the chamber of Mr. Garridub's pipe. My pipe, you say? By Jove, I wonder how that got there. And what precisely does this fragment of metal signify, Counsel? Are you suggesting that it is in some way related to the matter of the stabbing on Briar Road? Oh, yes. Slap your face. Get focused. I am. 100%. What? When put together with another piece of evidence already in the court record, I believe this tiny fragment of metal will unravel the whole truth of this case, my lord. Oh my god, his behind is seared off. You appear rather confident in that extraordinary statement, Counsel. Very well then, present the pertinent evidence to the court. What evidence, when paired with this fragment of metal, allegedly reveals the truth of this entire case? Is this one.
Take that!
Take that. This is the knife that was found in the victim's back. If you look closely, you will see that there is a small piece at the tip of the blade that is missing. A common issue with the inferior blades sold at unsavory street markets. Criminals who use them regularly leave the tips lodged in their victims' bones. And what of this particular knife? No doubt its tip has suffered a similar fate, now languishing somewhere near the spine of the victim.
Objection!
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, that's not the case. The tip of this particular knife's blade is the very fragment of metal we discovered in the chamber of Mr. Garridub's pipe. What was... What? Oh, oh, I don't believe it. You don't believe that I'm in love with you? I am crazy in love with you. God, and the way his hair swished too. Oh my god, Van Zeeks, please stop. Oh, yes, work it. Yes. The knife from the crime scene and this fragment of metal are a perfect match. I love that evil look on his face. Good golly gosh. Ordar! Is this some sort of Eastern sorcery? Ooh, this is no magic, my lord. This is a miracle. Oh yes, it's... A miracle. So Van Zeeks has figured it out, has he? Counsel, explain this extraordinary coincidence at once. Yes, my lord. The crucial point we have to ask ourselves here is, when did the fragment of metal find its way inside Mr. Garridub's pipe? Something that was clarified for us in the most recent witness testimony. Had this thing in my hand as usual at the time of the onslaught. Knocked it clean out with one of her soft projectiles, she did, yes. It would never have been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Oh, now she's shaking. Oh, dearie me. During the argument between these two that occurred, just as the victim was on the pavement below, Mrs. Garridub flung this knife at her husband. However, the knife missed Mr. Garridub instead of striking the pipe in his hand at the time, which caused the tip to break off, of course. Good lord. Yes, and that is when the tiny tip of the blade found its way inside Mr. Garridub's pipe. The chances of that are 1,000,000 to 1. And yet, there's no other credible explanation for how the tip of the blade ended up in your pipe. Then, after losing its tip, the knife ricocheted off the pipe and flew out of the open window. Yes. In short, this knife which fell from the window of the Garridub's house is the very same knife that struck the victim in the middle of the back on the street below. Oh gosh. Oh dear. Oh no. Yep. Oh, I just noticed she's standing on a box. Oh. Oh. Ew. Yes. Ooh. A full body theory. I'll give you that. A complex bouquet of seemingly trivial points plausibly arranged to create an almost passable vintage. Allow me to toast my learned friend's characteristically Nipponi's approach to bottling this argument. Sorry? But after all, it is just a theory. The bottle, I fear, is corked. Because, you see... Yes! Yes! Okay, okay. It's spoiled by an unsurmountable inconsistency. What? Lord Van Zeeks, explain yourself. What is this inconsistency you claim to have identified? An inconsistency of the simplest nature, my lord. The victim was found with the knife planted in the middle of her back. Yes, in her... Oh, okay. I see. Okay, Van Zeeks, look, you need to stop being smart. Okay, I think what he's gonna say is that because the lady was walking down, how did the knife get in the middle of her back if it fell down a window? The thing is that if it did, it would more than likely fall on her head or anywhere like on the top region, but not in the middle of the back. There's no way. That's right, you silly little man. Now, Joan, old thing. Oh, what are you getting so excited about? Let us consider the basic facts of the case. No, hear me out, Van Zeeks. When they threw the book out, right? The lady could have saw the book fall on the floor, bent over to pick it up. The knife would have hit her in the back, and then she falls over. She passes out. That's plausible. Let us consider the basic facts of the case once more. The victim was walking along the pavement before being stabbed in the back and falling to the ground. If the knife that struck her had fallen from above... Ooh, there's no possible way it could have planted itself into the victim's back. That's how many glasses you broke now, Van Zeeks? Like 6? 7? I lost count for this case. Order! Quite right. You see, that's exactly right. If the knife had fallen on her from above, it would have struck her on the top of her head. You see, that's what I was getting at. Well, I'm telling you, she bent over to pick up the book and then it hit her in the back. His lost for words. Look, I knew it. I never liked his theory in the first place. I don't know though. What really did happen? I have the evidence so that proves the knife piece matches. It would appear the defense has made rather a spectacular blunder. If a theory has even one inconsistency, it cannot stand. Your theory, my learned friend, is history. Ooh, I like it when you're angry, though. Okay, we're not giving up Ryunosuke because I want to see more of Van Zeek, so we're not giving up. We were so close. I could see the truth. I was so sure we were on the right track. But now the way has been blocked completely by just one simple inconsistency. Or in other words, we simply need to eliminate that one inconsistency and the theory will stand. Miss Sasato. You mustn't worry, Mr. Naruhodo. You were just caught off guard, that's all, and your mind went blank. But if the path you were on is indeed correct, then a way will present itself. The key to this is in the court record, I'm sure. All the information you need is there. You say that. But which one is it, miss? It seems you have nothing to say, my Nipponese friend. Well, your silence speaks volumes. A tacit acceptance a tacit acceptance that your theory is fatally flawed.
Objection.
Ooh. This inconsistency doesn't mean I was on the wrong track. That's right, you don't give up. It means that I need to sharpen my mind and dig deeper for the truth. That's right. Let's go. It's a test. Hell yeah. Yes. If the knife fell on the victim from above, there's no way that it could have hit her in the middle of her back. Under normal circumstances, that is. What are you implying, counsel? There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can explain this inconsistency. That can explain how the knife that fell from above could have pierced the victim's back. We already have we do? I don't know. What's the answer, sir? Tell me, please. This is what I hate about Ace Attorney. Like, you'll literally read and like, yeah, I get it. And then they'll be like, yeah, I know who it is. The person is. And we're like, what do you mean the person is? I don't get the memo. We already have the answer. Goodness. Utter madness. You're telling me. Surely this must be the last time. Counsel, present the evidence of which you speak. And then you get the answer and you feel dumb. Yeah, exactly. Ace Attorney will make you feel dumb. This is the last inconsistency, the final piece in the puzzle. If I can successfully make sense of this, the truth will be laid bare at last. The evidence that explains how the falling knife became lodged in the victim's back is my armband, because I'm a certified lawyer. She fell over at the glinting amazingness of my my badge. Isn't it what you said, the book thing? I don't even know. I really don't even know if it's really the book thing. Okay, let's go over this evidence one more time. Okay. So, yes, actually, yes. Because how did the book get clutched in her hands? There's no way that it would have just randomly got clutched. So I am right. I am big brain. I'm actually right. I'm right. I'm right. I'm right. I'm right. See, big round of applause for Baby Jades for putting the confidence back in me. Because I was unconfident. I was not confident for a second. Thank you. I did say that. I did say that. Now I'm even more confident because it is the book. Because there's no way. Because she had to see the book. And she's like, oh my God. There's a burned book. And then she bends over and then she's like, you know, she falls over. So, yes.
Take that!
Ooh, ooh, let's go. This the fourth book found at the scene. This is the final piece of evidence the defense will present. Bitch. The burnt book? Is that not Mr. Garadev's book? Yo, this song. Yes, and to understand its significance, we have to consider how it came to be at the scene in the first place. This photographic print clearly shows the book in question, and the victim holding it in her hands. But as we all now know, it was a police constable that put the book between her fingers like that. But, remember what the police constable said? He tried to make sure that it was in all perfect place as it was from point A to point B. My learned Lord Van Zeek's friend. Quite so, as part of this wholesale transplanting of the crime scene to the opposite side of the road. That's true. However, as part of his testimony, Constable B made an extremely enlightening statement on that point. But what made you place that book in the victim's hands? Oh, well, sir, that's because that's how I found it. Bitch. When we first ran over to the scene, the victim was already holding the book. So when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in her hands. In other words, the victim had already picked the book up of her own volition. And clearly, that must have been before she suffered the knife wounds. Well, I should say so. After being attacked with a knife, I don't imagine she'd have been doing much of anything. So the question becomes, why did the victim have that book in her hands? By Jingo! I think I'm beginning to see what may have happened now. Oh, dearie me. Oh, cat got your tongue, Van Zeeks? We know that the book fell from the top floor of the Gerardeb household onto the pavement below, at precisely the moment that the victim was walking past. Yes, at exactly that moment. The young woman was walking along the street in the light fog, when all of a sudden a book fell right in front of her. The book I threw. Yes, Mrs. Gerardeb. And what do you think the woman did? What would you do if you were walking along and suddenly a book landed in front of you on the pavement? I would get the fuck out, because I don't know what the fuck's happening. I'm out. My ass would be gone. Really, fuck this shit. I'm out. I don't trust anything on the street. Well, I really can't imagine it, but I suppose she might have reached down. Oh, and picked the book up. Oh, like I said. Oh, yes. Yes, that is exactly what the woman in fact did. She picked up the book. Oh heavens. And when the woman reached down to pick the fallen book up, what position would her back have been in? That's right, facing the sky, completely and utterly defenseless. Then, in the very next moment, while the woman was still bent over picking up the book, that's terrible. The next object fell from the room above, the jackknife straight into the middle of her back. And at the same time, walking by chance directly behind Miss Green, was the defendant, Mr. Soseki Natsume. Well, I never. It appeared to Mr. Natsume that the woman simply collapsed on the floor. In the dark and the fog, he didn't see the knife falling on her from above. True. And from the other direction, ooh, hi Van Zeeks, the constable and his wife saw no one but the victim and her apparent attacker. So there never was a real culprit to run from the scene in the first place. No, this was nothing more than a series of unlikely events that culminated in an unfortunate accident. And that is the real truth behind this case. Ooh, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. That's the truth. Bam. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Gerardeb, the very first time you showed me that knife, I had my suspicions. I wondered if perhaps it might have been something like that. There, old bean. Poor Mrs. Gerardeb. It was an accident. Of course, I never meant for anything of the sort to happen, but it was all my fault, wasn't it? Don't get mad at me, she's the one who threw shit at you. I take full responsibility. I let my anger get the better of me. I threw that book. And I threw the knife as well. John dear, it's alright, I know. I'm ever so sorry. Truly, I'm sorry. Oh boy. Okay. Oh, she faints? Okay. No, well, she drops because she's on a box. Oh, you caught her. You broke your arms and legs, sir. She is big. No, it's broken. It's broken. It's broken. Just drop. Thank you. Oh god. It's broken. She's too big for that. I'm sorry. Lord Van Zeeks, what news of Mr. Garridev? Oh, Mrs. Garridev. She's been taken to the infirmary. It would appear that today's event has left her in an especially flustered state. However, I believe she will recover in due course. There is no cause for concern. Yes, unbeknownst to themselves, they caused what could easily have been a terrible tragedy. They shall have to prepare themselves for the consequences of their actions. There is some good news, however, my lord. I just had word from the hospital where the victim is being treated. Her condition is improving steadily, and the doctor believes she will regain consciousness soon. It's strange. We've been talking about the victim all this time, but we've never once met her. How wonderful. The woman is out of danger, it seems. Yes, that is good news. So, Mr. Soseki Natsume. Ooh, are you ready? Yes. Are we ready? Are we ready to say that not guilty, chat? We're gonna say not guilty, right? On behalf of my fellow countrymen, I would like to take this opportunity to beg you pardon, sir. I don't know when he's gonna say it. You came from your distant eastern homeland to study our great British culture and have been repaid with immeasurable unkindness. Please accept our heartfelt apologies. You almost killed a man, but he's safe now. Because I was there for you, my fellow Nipponese friend. No, it is me who should be begging your pardon. Oh no, Mr. Natsume. That evening, when the young woman just collapsed on the pavement before my eyes, I jumped to the wrong conclusion again in my confusion. What conclusion, sir? I was sure that the woman was dead. Yes, Constable Beat said the same thing. He thought she had been killed too. I suppose she must have looked completely lifeless. I mean, if you're unconscious, yeah, you look pretty lifeless. It's been about a year since I arrived in Great Britain now, but I still can't get used to life here. I can't relax. I'm sure there are evil spirits lurking in the fog, like they're haunting me. Poor Soseki-san. His imagination really has got the better of him. Yes, poor man. So when it happened, I thought the young woman had been taken by the fog spirits. I should never have dropped my books like that and run away. I should have called for help, for a doctor, for the police. But she didn't. Instead, I've managed to create a rift in the relationship of trust between our two empires. And for that, I am truly sorry. Thank you. One could indeed say that some sort of mischievous spirit has been at work here, I think. One that created a chain of unfortunate mishaps. We were befooled by this spirit and led to false conclusions. But thanks to Lord Van Zeeks and our young lawyer here from the east, that chain has now been broken and the spirit exorcised. I heartily commend you both. Oh! Van Zeeks is just being shy, he's fine. Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Yes, my lord. In concluding this trial, I must ask one last time for your decisions regarding the defendant's culpability. Are you ready to present your findings to the courts? As a foreman of this jury, I can assure you we've reached a fair and just conclusion. I do declare the truth can be extremely cruel at times. Well, I didn't expect the woman next to me, that's for sure. Sitting in for the old bean while she's out of action, you know? But I know what her decision would be. Does this mean I'll finally be able to get out of here and start work? Well, it's about time. I say, I'll have a corker of a story to tell the grandchildren when I get home, won't I? Of course, old man. Very well. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hereby demand your final decisions. Mr. Foreman.
Not guilty.
Ooh, yes.
Not guilty.
Yes.
Not guilty.
Yes.
Not guilty.
Ooh, yes.
Not guilty.
Yes.
Not guilty.
Yes. Very well. Mr. Soseki Natsume, I hereby pronounce you, everybody in chat, not guilty! Woo! Wah! Yes! Fireworks! Fireworks! Woo! Wah! Fireworks! Bang! Bang! Not guilty! Woo! Wah! Let's go. And finally, Mr. Natsume. Oh, yes, Lord, sir. You are now a free man once more. It is my hope that you will continue to further your education in British culture. And may you never again be brought before me. Oh, yes, sir, of course. On my life, I swear I'll never set a foot in a courtroom again. I'm transported to tears. I like the hip thrust he does. Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned. Oh, we did it. We finally did it. Let's go. Let's go. We did it. 20th February, 3:17 p.m. The Old Bailey. Defendant's antechamber. Man's got the Crash Bandicoot thrust for real. Oh, locum. Wait, you mean me? Of course! Is there another locum here? Is there even one? Compared to the original locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, your name has become rather short, hasn't it? What's wrong with using my actual name? Oh, at last, I'm free! I'm free! Joyful, joyous, jubilant, jubilation! Heady, hearty, happiness, hurrah! Oh god. Oh, I am pleased. Mr. Natsume is delighted. Would it be so hard just to say that then? Locum, you did it! You saved me from the brink. Well, what happened to the poor woman was in no way your fault after all. I'm just glad everyone can see that now. No, not that. Lovely, loyal locum lawyer. Yes. I mean, as I said before, I have just never got used to life here in Great Britain. Every time I look over my shoulder, I see foreigners. I see towering brick buildings, and from high up windows, I see them looking down on me, laughing. Look at that little hunchback. Oh dear, I'm sure it's all in your head, Mr. Natsume. But today, you locum lawyer gave my gloom the boots. You stood firm behind that baronial bench before those babbling British. You battled to the bitter end, laying bare the baffling truth. And when I beheld the blinding fireworks among the beams of the Bailey's roof, I bellowed, "Behold the best barrister ever born." What? Well, that's very flattering, and we're very pleased for you. This has given me a wonderful anecdote to recount to my old friends back in Japan. An anecdote? Is that what's become of all my hard work? Ah, there you are, my dear fellows. Oh, hi, Mr. Sholmes. I apologize for keeping you waiting. I rose late this morning. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, what a pleasure to see you. I see, I am here not a moment too soon. A disaster has been averted, I'm glad to say. Oh. The trial shall begin presently, Miss Naruhodo, and I wish you the very best. That we did the trial. We did the trial, sir. It's just finished. What? No, then my haste was in vain? It's you. Oh yeah, that's right. Herlock Sholmes. Yeah, he's mad at him because he's the one who turned him in. Oh, have you met, sir? This is Mr. Natsume, the man you had arrested, Mr. Sholmes? Ah, I see. I failed to recognize you at first. Our previous encounters have taken place in the gloom, either of your bleak lodgings or in that prison cell. I simply couldn't place that curious face in the light. Charming. This is all your fault, Herlock Sholmes. You're the reason I had to go through this terrible ordeal. I'm going to give you a piece of my mind. My apologies, sir. He's gonna bandicoot thrust you. That's what's gonna happen. My apologies, sir, but I assure you, I have placed you now. You're the fellow who abandoned that poor young lady and ran off, are you not? Had she been taken to hospital more urgently, I feel perhaps she would have regained consciousness by now. Oh. But it was unavoidable, I'm sure. We are but human after all. Anyone would have been shaken by such an experience. He's actually being nice to you right now, Soseki. I do feel very badly about how I behaved. Well, never mind. Now then, what was it that you wanted to say to me, sir? Damn, he just tamed him. Nothing. Okay, Sherlock, he literally just tamed the shit out of Soseki. God. Priceless. Oh, I am sorry, really, but that was quite priceless. Poor Soseki-san. Oh my gosh, Sherlock Holmes, you're gonna give me... Oh my god. Still, on the bright side, you've had an extremely entertaining experience without paying a penny. And, it would seem, you were not even found guilty. But there is no bright side. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Natsume? Even after this, I'm... You're what? I'm still cursed by the spirits. And now by the Reaper. Ugh, Lord Van Zeeks, he's not gonna touch you, believe me. I haven't forgotten, you know, what facing that man in court means. Even if you're found not guilty, you're still doomed. It will be alright, Mr. Natsume. Oh shit, that's right, because what's his face? The guy from the previous case, he died. Right? Yeah, he dead. Oh shit, Soseki, run. Go back to Japan. Just quit your expeditions here now and go back. If the Reaper appears trying to make trouble, I will protect you. With a perfectly executed Suzato takedown, you need to stop doing that to me, Suzato. God. Much as I like being turned on my head, a bit of warning might be nice next time, Miss Suzato. She's always doing that. Always. So, Mr. Natsume, what do you intend to do now? You mentioned something about recounting your experiences to your friends back in Japan. Yes, I intend to return to my homeland soon. Oh! It has already been a year since I arrived here in Great Britain. I've visited universities, libraries, bookshops. I've been honored with the tutelage of professors. I've learned so much about the wealth of literature here, and the city it has shaped. And I've come to realize that it is my calling to sail home and tell my fellow countrymen about it. Hi, Shadow. Hello, hello. That's very touching, Mr. Natsume. Or, in perhaps less veiled terms, you wish to withdraw halfway around the world to escape the terror of the Reaper's curse. That's not it at all. The more I learn of literature, the more this strange feeling claws at my sides. I feel compelled to return to my roots and attempt to pen a work of my own. Thank you for the host. I appreciate it as always. Oh, I see. A work of literature by Soseki-san. Could be an interesting read. Yeah, he's gonna write about ghosts and stuff. If he's even alive to finish it. And what about Miss Suzato and yourself, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry, what about us? Will you return to Japan alongside your mustache compatriot? Why would we? A week has not yet passed since we arrived in London. And only now does it feel as though we have finally found our feet. And you are accommodated in a hotel at present, are you not? That's right, but we need to find lodgings before it bankrupts us. I've calculated we can only afford another 10 nights before our entire budget is exhausted. Well then, you could take my... How the fuck no? You can keep your crusty ass lodging. No! Oh, the windowless room? But what it lacks in windows, it more makes up for with the floor, a ceiling, and walls. Great. And of course, I'd be happy to leave behind their cursed evil spirit. Oh my, an evil spirit. Oh yes. It tries to suffocate you while you sleep. It's an infallible wake-up call. We'll think about it if that's alright. Perhaps I can offer a more welcome alternative. Would you consider taking lodgings with me? Oh, thank you! Yes! Really? Yes! Well, a vacancy has conveniently presented itself. Though it is up in the attic, I might add. Are you sure it isn't just a storage loft? I spoke with the landlady this very morning on the matter of price, and Iris is cleaning the room as we speak. You must come at once. I presume you have no luggage to speak of? Oh, this is simply wonderful. What an honor to be invited to take in lodgings in the great detective's office's attic. I'm too overcome for words. So suggesting we look elsewhere is out then. Then it's settled. Iris will prepare a welcome dinner this evening. And you must come too, Mr. Natsume. I insist. I don't know what to say, but thank you. And yes. Wonderful. Then I'll go and complete the paperwork for your formal release, Mr. Natsume. It shouldn't take long. Somebody's happy. Yeah, because she gets to, like, stay in Herlock Sholmes' place and probably, like, have sex with him or something. I don't know. Loco. I knew that you wouldn't let me down. I'm truly delighted to have met you here in London. Likewise, Mr. Natsume. It's been a privilege meeting you too. It's a shame that we're going to have to say goodbye so soon. Well, I've come to realize that I belong in Japan. But Locum, we'll meet again one day. Yes, I'm sure. And hopefully by then, I'll be a successful lawyer. Hopefully by then, I'll be a successful author. Well, my dear fellow, our carriage appears to have arrived. Shall we go, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, Mr. Sholmes. Yes, let's go. I've little doubt Mr. Natsume will be released in time for dinner this evening. But he invited him anyway, so at least that's nice. And so, with Soseki-san's innocence successfully established, we rode with Mr. Sholmes to what was to become our new home, 221B Baker Street. Dun, 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 dun. That is a nice as fuck attic. This is a pretty nice space for an attic. The attic room. This is not bad for an attic. So this is to be our new office, yes. Our office? I rather like the sound of that. Me too. It's simply wonderful, isn't it? I hope you can see this, Kazuma. It's only a small step. But I'd like to think we're getting a little closer to your dream now. So, my dear fellows, do you like the place? Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Ooh, I like... Did you just have a glow up just now? You're looking pretty fine, sir. But I am pro Van Zeeks, so... Okay. Ooh, okay, no, it's getting hot. It's getting hot in here, okay. Mr. Sholmes, you don't just do that. Holy shit. Mr. Sholmes, yes, thank you so much. It's a delightful room, Mr. Sholmes. I simply adore it. Ooh, and I'm adoring Mr. Sholmes right now. Hello. Good, I'm pleased to hear it. Iris and I are delighted to welcome you. Oh, I am so delighted I'm here now. I hope everyone's hungry. It's nearly time for dinner. We'll eat as soon as Mr. Natsume arrives. We have a lot to celebrate. Iris, you must let me help you. Alright then, Susie. You can be in charge of the salad. Splendid. Hi. He had the illest glow up. Like, how did he go from looking kind of questionable with the headgear and stuff, and then he takes it off, and then he pulls off a fucking... What? Okay. So, Mr. Naruhodo, how does it feel to be in my presence without my costume? To have your own office in the capital. It's very exciting, actually. I can't help wondering what adventures await us. He still has his personality, though. But you know what? It actually makes him stupid hot with that personality. I don't know why. Those were precisely my sentiments when I first established my office at these premises. Until I discovered dark truth about the city of London that, I swear to God, if he like switches his hair back. Why is the game doing this to me? What? Why do... Okay. Sorry? London is a glorious place, full of wonder, opportunity, prosperity, and mirth. But the brightest of lights casts the darkest of shadows. Oh, hi. I am looking straight at you, sir. Shadows? What do you mean? Well, I believe you're well aware of the murkiness that lies behind London's facade already. It's giving himbo instead of crazy eccentric, right? We do not talk about the big coats that these people have. No, they have some big ass coats, they do. So once again, Mr. Naruhodo. Welcome to London. Thank you. I love London so much. Thank you. Oh my god, this is so great. This is so great. Of course, at the time, I had no idea of the significance of those words Mr. Sholmes so casually spoke. But it wasn't long before my turn came. To lift the facade and see the true depth of the murk that lay behind it. I like how it literally took taking away the coat and now you're into it. Shut up, Chaos. Look, the whole chat can agree with me. The the whole chat. Oh, landed in London. I got an achievement. Look, the whole chat can agree with me that Sholmes was questionable with the coat, but he takes off the coat and I'm happy I'm in London. Like, Sholmes with the coat is like, all right, that's London. Sholmes without the coat is like, ooh, hello, London. Yes, it takes taking away the coat, okay? And hi, GDX, how's it going? Taking away the coat adds, okay? He was hiding himself. He was hiding himself, all right? Because he knows He fucking knows. Sholmes thirsting class. Sholmes, look, I've been Van Zeke thirsting. I just recently found my Sholmes thirsting. Recently thirsting for Sholmes. So, but I think I'm a Van Zeke's girl at heart. No matter how blatantly like crude he can be, I just, I Van Zeke takes it. I'm sorry, Van Zeke takes it. All right, let's start episode 5, the adventure of the unspeakable story. Just wanted to stop in to see how far along. Oh, okay. Well, I am on this episode. But hope you're doing good, GDX.
It's coming!
Ooh, story time.
Sholmes' cry pierced through the thick wall of fog around us. Wisps of vapor flowed over the pistol as I cocked it, and I waited, breathlessly, in the stillness.
Ooh.
The silence lasted for what seemed an eternity, until, at last, it appeared. From the shadows of the cloud, an enormous beast sprang out upon us. A hound it was, but not such a hound as any mortal has ever seen. Its eyes glowed with a smoldering glare. The whole of its ox-sized body was outlined in white-hot flames. Its rumbling pant and hideous howl, so terrified was I that I began to tremble with fear. "Look well, Wilson," Sholmes declared, gazing upon the mystical beast. "For this is the diabolical hound of the Baskervilles."
Oh. But we're not gonna see that, right? Our first 2 months in London passed by in a flash. Oh, okay, so 2 months. This is a 2 months fast forward on this. That's cool. Once that leg goes up, it's over. Oh my god, it is. Just curious, are you going to play the second game immediately after this one, or do something else in between? I would probably go straight into Ace Attorney 2, to be honest, so then I can, yeah, just finish it all in one go, you know? So, our first 2 months in London passed by in a flash. And that disconcerting courtroom experience we were first thrown into on the day we arrived in the country. And in Soseki-san's terrible ordeal that had followed closely behind, we had emerged victorious. However, there then came an abrupt end to our opportunities to appear in court, which was hardly surprising, of course, since I was nothing more than an amateur, an unknown student of law from a faraway land. So life in our little office was very quiet. That is, until it was shattered one day by that fateful telegram. Oh, what happened? 15th April, 9:13 a.m. Naruhodo's legal consultancy. Why can't you just say legal office? Why do you have to use complicated words for consultancy? Who uses consultancy anymore? Knock, knock, knock. That morning, I was woken by the unreserved knocking on the door by the telegram boy. Oh, I like how they cleaned it up a bit, though. Okay, looking more office-like. I like that. But after he'd gone, Susato-san's behavior became very obviously strange. Susato-san? Yes. Is it time to leave for court already? Let me see, what case is it today? I don't think I'm scheduled to defend anyone at the moment, am I? Oh, no, of course not. How silly of me. But I think Iris said she would make us breakfast this morning. So shall we go down to Mr. Sholmes' suite? Yes. Iris makes the most delicious breakfast food. She does, doesn't she? And once our bellies are full, we can leave for court in fighting fit form. We don't have court. Let me see, what case is it today? Here we go again. Alright, are you okay? What's going on with the telegram? So, what was it about? The telegram that was delivered this morning, I mean. Oh, a telegram. I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, but you're not going to get away with that. Yeah, no. You tell me. Well, I didn't think I would. What did it say, Suzato? Actually, don't give it a moment's thought. It's nothing interesting. Boring, in fact. Ahem. It was just a boring old telegram. That's 3 times now that she's tried and failed to convince me it was nothing. Suzato, tell us. I promise that I'll tell you about it at some point. Alright, I understand. Okay, what about Soseki-san? What's going on with him? I suppose Soseki-san will have arrived back in Japan by now, won't he? Yes, I should think so. He left immediately after that terrible ordeal. Which would mean he should have completed the voyage already, or just be a few days away. A fortnight ago, we had that very long telegram from him. Do you remember? Complaining of seasickness? But by and large, it seems the voyage has been going well. Very well, actually. He's not dead, so that's good. Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san? I was just wondering what might have become of Soseki had he stayed in London, that's all. $10 the telegram says that Soseki died. You mean as regards Lord Van Zeeks, the Reaper? Yes, I can't help wondering if seasickness would have paled into insignificance in that case. Okay, the Reaper. What is it they say? That no one who stands in the dock can be saved from the Reaper, right? Like the way that nightmarish trial ended on the very day we arrived in London. Yeah, Mr. McGilded got crispy. Even 2 months on, the cause of that dreadful fire is still a mystery. Yes, but at least Soseki-san is safely out of the country now. Presumably that means that the curse of the Reaper can only take effect within the confines of the city of London, perhaps? Even if that's the case, it's little comfort. I have a terrible sense of foreboding. If the legend of the Reaper is to be believed, it would mean he wields the sword of justice himself. Come to think of it, I wonder what he's been up to these past few months. Surely not wielding that sword against more acquitted defendants. No, I don't think so. Apparently, Lord Van Zeeks hasn't appeared in court once since our last encounter. Okay, because he's glued to us. He's glued. That's fine. I don't mind being his exclusive opponent. Yes, since Soseki-san's trial, he's withdrawn from judicial service again, it seems. Really? Just like before, when he wasn't seen in court at all for several years. So it's just been me who's had to face him in his recent spate of trials, then. Just my luck. I wonder if luck doesn't come into it. Sorry? What was that? Oh, nothing. Never mind. Right, okay, so let's go ahead and move on to Sholmes Sweets so we can have some awesome breakfast by the lovely Iris. Speaking of breakfast, I had this really, really amazing Greek black cherry yogurt for breakfast, and it was so good. It was really good. Num nums. Morning, Runo. Morning, Susie. Oh, that's right, that's her nicknames for us. Good morning, Iris. Sholmes, you need to put that away. That shit is garbage. You need to just stop. Stop, please. Iris? What is it, Runo? What is that terrible noise? It sounds like a cat being strangled. Yes. You noticed that, did you? You may be hot, Sholmes, but you're not looking so hot right now. Hurley isn't in the best form this morning, it seems. Oh, thank God it stopped. Hello. Oh. Are you okay? Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Good morning. Are you okay, Mr. Sholmes? A good morning to die, perhaps? Oh, okay. Alright. He went from overconfident to super emo. I get it. Has nothing happened? Has something happened, Mr. Sholmes? You look miserable, and the way you were playing the violin before. My analytical mind is dead. Music is dead. The world is dead. I'm dead. Mr. Hello? Are you... Sholmes, that is... You need to, like, lift yourself up. Please. I'm so used to him being so snappy, so it's weird. Damn this blanched existence. Okay, holy shit. Mr. Sholmes, you need to put yourself together. That's all it is, my dear fellow. Nothing of consequence. I'm afraid I don't understand. Well, Iris, isn't it time we ate? Some dry toast and insipid coffee for me. If it's not too much trouble. Meow. Oh, kitty. Hi, kitty. Hello. Oh, look. Is Wagahai? 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 I don't know how to say the cats. I'm gonna call it Waga. Good morning, boy. Meow. Oh, you're so cute. That must be some sort of tiny door for cats to use. You got me? I still don't know how to say that. But how did it get there? Well then, everyone, time for breakfast. Oh, wonderful. Let me help you, Iris. Ugh. It would indeed be a fine day to die. Shut up, Mr. Sholmes. God. I knew something looked different. Oh, there's nothing on his desk. Something's missing from Mr. Sholmes' desk. Wanting to die. You seem to be very unhappy this morning, Mr. Sholmes. What's happened? It used to be the case that in my hands, this violin sung like the dawn chorus. Its mellissonant tones would make flowers bloom. It would. But now, the muses are unamused with me. The goddesses of music have thrown me over. Right. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? For hours I have bowed, for days even, though the night I have endeavored, to no avail. That sound, my tone, is lost. That brilliant, clear, unwavering tone. Gone forever. No more recitals of unbridled emotion. Right. Well, you haven't been practicing much lately, have you, Hurley? Don't worry, I'm sure it will come back to you in time. Heed my words, Mr. Naruhodo. The goddesses of the arts are fickle. One day they bestow genius on a man, the next they unmercifully withdraw it. Oh dear. Why is this happening to me? If they take the turn I have for the violin from me, what is left for pity's sake? What is left? At least you still got your pretty face left. That's something. Deduction perhaps? Isn't that what you're known for? The missing machine. Mr. Sholmes, I don't like to pry, but... your desk looks rather empty today. Well done, Mrs. Zato. Your observational skills do you credit. Oh no, Mr. Sholmes. They pale into significance when compared to yours. You'd struggle not to notice, wouldn't you? You mean Hurley's Great Analytoscope? That's at Windibanks now. Sorry? It's at a Windy Bank? No, Windibanks. The pawnbrokery. Pawn? What? Wait, what? You mean you've pawned that enormous machine of yours? It has some considerable value, you see, quite undeservingly. But isn't it a very important machine for your work? I do wish you had consulted us if your situation had become so desperate. I should have gladly passed what little income I have to you. Dear Madame, things are far from desperate. But the pawnbroker has your wonderful machine. How can it be anything but desperate? Making use of a pawnbrokery is quite ordinary here in London, I assure you. It is? It doesn't sound ordinary at all. It would seem that neither of you fully understand how pawnbroking works. Oh, what's to understand exactly? How does it work, sir? Please, enlighten me. What did you mean? You said we didn't fully understand how pawnbroking works. To the people of London, pawnbrokeries are akin to banks. Banks? On Mondays, merchants relinquish their finest jackets and trappings to their pawnbroker of choice. With the money they receive in return, they are able to trade happily through the week. And then on Saturdays, they go to recover their things using the money they've earned. I had no idea. This has been a fascinating lesson for us. How do pawnbroke? Everyone does it, you see, especially people in inner London. And should they have money to spare, they would purchase another fine jacket. Not to wear, obviously, but to pawn, should the need arise. Oh, how ingenious. So, whenever we have something that's getting in the way, we leave it at Windibanks, you see. A pawnbrokery can be thought of as an extremely secure vault. Who would have thought that even pawnbrokers are different here in Great Britain? Interesting concept. Of course, you have to watch Hurley with it. Sometimes he pawns things he really shouldn't. Don't you, Hurley? Like your machine. Yeah. What does it matter? The world is dead to me now. Oh my god. You need to stop with that. Okay, is there anything to present? No. I guess we'll just examine things. Oh, yes. Can we, like, eat breakfast? Mr. Natsume's cat seems to have settled into his new home, then. Oh, yes, and I've become very attached to little Waggy. It would appear his previous owner is completely forgotten to him. Cats are unfeeling creatures. Their mews are empty as the hearts of the muses. He's not wrong. If Mr. Natsume had no intention of taking Waggy back to Japan, I wonder why he kept him in the first place. I expect he would have taken him if he could, but pets are strictly forbidden aboard steamships in our experience. And for good reason. Terrible things can happen if the rules of passage are not be obeyed. Yeah, because our friend Ryunosuke died from tripping over a cat. Yeah. So that happened. Well, I don't mind, because Waggy is adorable. Yeah, meow. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Kazuma. Our friend Kazuma died from tripping over from a cat. Look, I'm tired. It's 11:22. I'm exhausted. I've been on my feet for 2 hours. Almost 2 hours. I'm tired. Yes, he really is. Oh, yes. What about the door? I don't remember seeing that tiny thing in the main door before. Where did that come from? Oh, you noticed? You are observant, Bruno. Look, I use this. It's my latest invention. The fuck? What? What is that? I call it the cat flappomat. Oh, okay. Gosh, a machine for making doors just for cats? That's a little excessive. And that's right. It can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. And it can do it in any door at all, no matter what it's made of. It's very powerful, you see. Oh, wouldn't it have been quicker just to make the cat flap rather than making a machine to make the cat? Yes! It would be a lot quicker. 10 times quicker. Well, yes, maybe, but now I can make cat flaps anywhere I like. Oh, I think it's wonderful. You must make one for us in the door of our office upstairs, Iris. She really knows how to come up with unconventional inventions, this girl. What does the landlord have to say about this? Punching in random cat holes in the area. God. What is wrong, Mr. Katz? Or... what was that? Waggy? I'm just gonna call the cat Waggy. What is going on? What was that? Oh no. Waggy's tangled up in your violin. Oh my god. I think he thinks it's a toy. No! What's he doing to it? Oh dear. Mr. Sholmes' precious violin. Why should I care? Oh my god. Sholmes! What? I shouldn't be surprised. If the cat is a more accomplished musician than I now. Sholmes, you need to stop that. Mr. Sholmes really is in poor spirits, isn't he? Well, anyway, I'll put it back where it lives. Shall I, Hurley? Out of the cat's reach, if possible. Maybe we should assess the damage. Right, okay. Let's not move. Let's examine. And let's assess the damage. So this is the violin, is it? It's a Stradivarius, one of the finest violins in the world, made by the renowned Italian luthier Antonio Stradivari. Oh, I see. It doesn't really look like anything special to me. I happened upon it covered in dust, languishing in a pawn shop down a nondescript back alley. The broker had no idea of its value, so I was able to purchase it for a mere 55 shillings. How honorable of you! And until today, it has been my faithful companion in every great Paganini-inspired performance I have made. I ask you, is there reason to live in a world devoid of music? To tolerate this balanced existence? No. There is none. Right. Mr. Sholmes? What, dear madame, what? My thoughts are preoccupied with fancies of release from this dull routine. Well, it's about the violin. It looks very different to normal, don't you think? Hmm? What do you mean, Miss Susato? Oh, Susie's right! Yes, the tone of the wood is completely different. And that's not all. I'm sure there was no crack here before. Wait, it's not even the right size, is it? What's this? Wait, what? I'm terribly sorry to have to tell you this, Mr. Sholmes, but that instrument isn't a violin at all. Is that a cello? Don't tell me he bought a cello. But that looks too small to be a cello. Then what? I I believe it's an entirely different instrument called a viola. Yeah, that is a difference actually. A violin and a viola, whatever the pronunciation is. I call it a viola. Completely different instruments. Well, yeah. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, are you all right? You're right. You are quite right. This isn't my fateful Stradivarius. So what, pray, is this piece of stringed flotsam? Not your fateful performing partner, then. Ah, I see what must have happened. You do, Iris? This is just a simple mix-up. It sounds like Iris might be able to tell us exactly what's happened if we ask her. So what happened to a violin, Iris? Oh. Oh, wow, look at this room. This side. This is obviously Iris's side. But alright. So what's going on, Iris? What is the mix-up? What did you mean by a mix-up, Iris? Well, you see, this violin... sorry, this viola, I mean... was at Windabanks until last week. At the pawnbrokers? Not Mr. Sholmes' beloved music partner. Did you pawn that by mistake? There is a proverb from the East with which you are no doubt familiar, my dear fellows. Always let a beloved child travel. Yes, indeed. So you sent your beloved violin to the pawnbrokers in the hope that it would experience personal growth? Oh, what a wonderful idea. That is a terrible idea. Last week, I pawned my great analytoscope in order to release my precious instrument. But it would appear Mr. Windabank mistakenly furnished me with this tawdry fiddle instead. But my ears cannot be deceived by the hollow timbre of this piece of you were playing it like it was your fucking baby, alright? You're getting depressed because you couldn't play it for shit because it's the wrong instrument. So obviously, you didn't notice the change, Mr. Sholmes. No, but your every sense was deceived by the fact that it just had strings. That's funny. A fine state of affairs this is, and why I always say, Mr. Naruhodo, never trust a pawnbroker. They will try to fiddle you every time. But earlier you told us that you could think of a pawnbrokery as an extremely secure vault. You did say that. Come on, Mr. Naruhodo. Dilly-dallying will get you nowhere. Sorry? Crunching your toast with that vacant aspect. Brushing your coffee so obtusely. See, it's actually funnier now that he doesn't have the detective costume. It looks funny when he's ready to bop somebody. That's great. I love that. Are you not a little embarrassed by your own conduct considering the urgency with which we are faced? We must visit Mr. Windabake's brokery at once. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Sholmes? Precisely, Mr. Zato, without a moment's delay. But I haven't finished my bacon and eggs. My dear fellow, surely you do not still intend to crunch your bacon with an increasingly vacant aspect to fresco your egg ever more obtusely. All right, say no more. Let's go then. Don't worry, Bruno. I'd be happy to heat it up for you again later. Oh, thank you, Iris. As it happens, I am rather curious to see what a British pawnbroker looks like. Alright, let's go. A new location has been added, thank you. Okay, so we have two options. Either Baker Street or the pawnbroker, but I want to go straight to the pawnbroker because I want to see this pawnbrokery. 15th April, Windabanks Pawnbrokery. So this is a British pawnbrokery. Oh my, there are all sorts of tools and contraptions in here that I've never laid eyes on before. Ah, Suzato-san, and that spark of wonder in your eyes. You can't wait to scour the shelves, can you? I get the impression you enjoy places like this. Oh, yes, I don't know why, but seeing such a lot of things I don't understand is a real thrill for me. My dear fellows, let us not forget why we are here. Oh, Mr. Sholmes. You see, we're calling the matters of business, not pleasure. Stupid fighting. But you see how he's not as attractive in that outfit? He's not what I saw in the apartment. This is a different person. But he is more attractive without the large coats and the ridiculous hats. That's for sure. And clearly Mr. Sholmes means business too, judging from the spark of fury in his eyes. Ah, Mr. Sholmes, sir, welcome back. Did you hear that brazen welcome? This is work, Sholmes. You like to play Sholmes? Well, yes, we are potential customers after all. We are disgruntled customers, Mr. Naruhodo, and it's time to inform Mr. Windabank of our ire. Come, the fight is afoot. Alright, sir, you gave me a viola instead of a violin. You obviously knew what you were doing. So, can you kindly please exchange? That'd be great. Naturally, you will recall this, which I retrieved from you some days ago. Yes. This second-rate fiddle is not my fateful instrument, Mr. Windabank. The color of the wood is different. It has holes in it. It's not even the same size. A wonderful summary of our observations, Mr. Sholmes. Right, and what do you have to say, Mr. Windabank? I'm so very sorry, sir, but utterly unforgivable of me, an inexcusable mistake for a pawnbroker. There's only one way to make amends. Oh, okay! I thought he was gonna shoot us or some shit. I don't know why my first reaction was he's gonna shoot us. Can you calm down? Calm the fuck down. You're fine. It's okay. I shall have to take my own life. That's a little extreme, sir. I don't think that will be necessary, do you? If I may just say one thing before I pop off. What? Yes? It was you, sir, Mr. Sholmes, who took it upon himself to remove the item the other day, I believe. Sorry. As I recall, I entered the storeroom to fetch your violin when I heard, ah, here it is. You did? That sounds like Sholmes. And when I turned to controvert you, you had taken the viola and left, sir. That is your fault, Sholmes. However, there can be no doubt that the blame lies firmly at my own door for allowing you to leave. You should have trapped him in the store, yeah. So I shall not grumble or grouse any longer. May this guilt die with me. No, 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 stop my dear fellow. I like how he fell over. Stop my dear fellow, the fault is mine. That's funny. Okay, put the gun down. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah, you need to chill. It would appear that the fight is over. Interesting. I do humbly apologize, Mr. Windabank. Evidently, my questionable disposition precipitated this tragedy. Well, you wouldn't be Mr. Herlock Sholmes without that questionable disposition now, would you? I do believe you may be right, sir. That's true. That was one hell of 0 to 100, it was. It's either laugh or cry, I suppose. You are, it must be said, one of my more challenging customers. I needn't remind you of the peculiar collection of items you've brought through my door in the past. Oh, peculiar items? In the extreme, ma'am, for example. The unpublished manuscript of a eponymous work, the novels of Herlock Sholmes or some such. Oh my, a new full-fledged novel? And unpublished? A story I have yet to read, you mean? Forgive me. Okay, he goes 0 to 100 quick. You need to stop. Wait, before you die, you must tell me more. Unpublished story? I must know more. Tell me everything. Wow, Suzato-san is really fired up now. Is there really an unpublished story under this very roof? Well, one day the gentleman here brought in an old metal chest, you see. I should like to entrust this to your care for a while, Mr. Windibank. For a chest like that, 1 shilling, sir. Not a farthing more. It houses something of very great value indeed. The latest manuscripts, recounting the adventures of one Mr. Herlock Sholmes. I beg your pardon, a manuscript? You wish to deposit a manuscript? Indeed I do, for I am confident it will be safe here. And that was that. As such, Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom. Mr. Sholmes, is that really true? Do I sense that someone doesn't want to talk about this? Maybe it's a bad story. I continue to pay your fee, do I not? Then kindly continue to store my belongings securely. He's like, you need to shut the fuck up, alright? I pay you money, so you shut up. Of course, sir, of course. They're safe and sound with me, I assure you, on my life. This is all very strange. Very strange. Alright, pawnbrokery. I wonder, could I ask you something? Ah, a gentleman from the east, I see. Yes, that sable suit. I suppose I could offer you 6 pence for it. Without wishing to offend, the tone is somewhat dull. Sorry? Aha, but for your splendid attire, ma'am, 5 guineas, no less. The colors are exquisite, the design exotic. Eastern artistry at its finest, may I say. Oh my, 5 guineas, you say? How interesting. Why do I feel as though I've suffered some sort of defeat here? Actually, I was hoping to ask you about your business. I've heard it said that pawnbrokeries are used rather like banks here in London. Yes, sir, indeed. Many of my customers utilize the establishment as you describe. I appraise their items and offer them a proportionate loan and 2 months of secure storage. If in that time they repay the original sum to me plus the agreed interest, their items are happily returned. But what happens if they don't pay you the money? Then the items are offered for sale in my shop, as you can see on the shelves behind me. That is a lot of people that didn't give a fuck about their items, apparently. So you never sold items before the 2 months has passed then? That's right, ma'am, that's right. Which means some considerable responsibility rests on my shoulder. $100 he sold the violin. Should a customer's precious belongings be lost, the only recompense is for me to end it all. Right. The very idea of Mr. Windibank is an absurdity. One should never talk of one's demise so casually. Yeah, says the man who was telling us it was a good day to die only this morning. Yeah, it sounds pretty similar to what we heard this morning, Mr. Sholmes. And let us not forget that I have already helped you take measures to ensure such a strategy never occurs. Oh, what sort of measures? I engineered a simple device in which Mr. Windibank has installed here in his shop. I call it the red-handed recorder. Is that not so, Mr. Windibank? The red-handed recorder, what? What was that deep sigh just now? What is the red-handed recorder? What on earth is a red-handed recorder? Use your eyes, my dear fellow. There are two just below the ceiling. I can see what appears to be a camera attached to some sort of timing device. Oh my god. Is that like an old school surveillance camera? What? Very astute. It is indeed a camera furnished with some 100 pieces of celluloid film. And every 30 minutes precisely, the camera automatically records the appearance of the shop. Here, I have an example I can show you. Interesting. Ah, yes, a print from the camera set to record the activity at the shop counter. I developed a special type of film so sensitive it produces a crystal clear image even in darkness. Really? That's extraordinary. Yes, you can clearly see the counter and the door behind it. Look. Interesting. So you see, were someone to enter the premises with ill intent, his identity would be similarly it will be exposed. But did you not say that the photographic prints were taken at 30-minute intervals? Indeed, as you say, my dear madame. Then what if the incident were to occur in between times? One could only say... Oh, sorry. Oh my god. One could only say that would be a cruel twist of fate. I must confess, your devices have been giving me some cause for distress of late. I beg your pardon, Mr. Winterbank? Surely they are anything but distressing. Reassuring is the word. It's the cost of the film, sir. You most graciously placed not one but two cameras in my shop after all, which means I must pay for nigh on 100 utterly useless prints every single day. I'm afraid the cost of the film will break me before I'm very much older. That is unfortunate. Nevertheless, a small price to pay to ensure the safety of my preferred pawnbroker, you know. My dear fellows, we verge on an age where safety and security come at a price. Oh, heaven help us. I thought he was gonna pull the gun out like I'm done. Now then, Mr. Sholmes, allow me to return your precious violin. Ah, the very thing. Thank you, Mr. Winterbank. Perhaps this might mark the end of the peculiar items you try to pop, Because if anything were to happen to one of them, this would be the only answer. Oh my god. I really think you ought to stop waving that gun around. Someone could get hurt. Fear not. Sorry? I've only loaded a single bullet, so no one but myself should possibly be harmed. That's not really what I meant. Oh, jeez. Good day to you then, Mr. Winterbank. It's been a pleasure as always, Mr. Sholmes. You need to put the gun down. So, Mr. Naruhodo, now we can explore at last. Oh yes, we can explore. So there's really nothing else at the shop. So how about we... I guess we could look at everything in here. Ugh. I kind of want to go to the next area, but I guess we'll just look at everything here and then call it a day, and then look at the next area for next stream. Oh, that's a calendar. That's not a calendar you could easily miss, is it? 15th April, today's dates. No, no, no. Yes, that's not for sale, I must point out. It's an Eastern-style page-a-day calendar. Every night at midnight, I tear off the front page to reveal the following day's dates. The perfect calendar for a tearaway fellow such as yourself, Mr. Winterbank. And who was it who walked out of here with the wrong violin before? Well, when the agreed storage period has passed without repayment, articles are forfeited, you see. So I have to keep a close eye on the date. It's something of a pawnbroker's obsession, you might say. Oh yes, I can see you're very dedicated to your job. All right, and then what's this one? Look at this. Whatever could it be used for? I have no idea. I don't know what the fuck that is. What is that? There's a small catch just here. Look. The fuck is that? We're going to open it, aren't we? Oh! Oh my, that's amazing. It has some sort of spring-loaded mechanism, which we'll never manage to put back to the way it was before. What are you two doing? What? Us? Nothing. No, nothing at all. Whatever this device is, it seems to have a pair of little windows to look through. Oh, that's cute. A pair of little windows. Those are binoculars, my friend. I feel as though I've seen something rather similar to this elsewhere. Yeah, on Mr. Sholmes' head, actually. And on Iris's, too. Now, what do you suppose this rather enormous machine does? It seems to have two little windows for looking through. Allow me to enlighten you, my dear fellows. What you are looking at is a stereoscope. A stereo... Fascinating! Like she didn't even try. It is aptly named, I assure you. Look through the eyepieces and see for yourself. Oh, I should be delighted too. Excuse me a moment while I just have a look. Just before you do, there is something I should point out. My dear fellows, in order to see the image properly, stereoscopically, as it were, you will need to be cross-eyed. However, if that is put on you, it is of little consequence today. Dude, I loved looking at YouTube stereoscopic videos. Cause like, yeah, crossing your eyes looking, it actually did look kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. Gave you a headache, but looked kind of cool. Alright. Alright then, I'm going to try it. Ooh, what are you gonna see? What are you gonna see? Miss Naruhodo, you must see at once. Oh, alright then. So I need to be cross-eyed, like I'm trying to look at my own nose? Alright. Can you do it here? What the? I wonder if you can, let me see. Oh shit, you can! This is so cool! Oh my god, okay, I see it. I see it. And I probably look, you probably can't see, but I look, this is how I look. But I see it. That is so trippy. Oh my god, that is so trippy. Oh, that is so trippy! Oh, I can see it so clear! Okay, this is cool. This is, okay, wait, I'm losing. Okay, this is cool. This is really cool. That's so trippy. Okay. Ooh! You guys should try it too, if you can. You just cross your eyes. If you look at it, I'm not sure if it'll work because of my bordering, but like, that was cool. I like that. What the? I don't believe it. That's cool. It's just a photographic print, but it seems like you could reach out and touch it. Yes, the sense of depth is startling, is it not? Stereoscopes are one of London's many fads. They are often found in little stalls in the park. People queue for hours to see them. Why? Why are people meddling with such black magic? It is no magic, my dear madame. It is, well, far too complicated to explain at present. We shall save this lesson for another day. Oh, it's science, though. Some witchcrafty science. Yeah, that's cool. The fact that, like, you can actually do it, though, in the game, that's cool. What an assortment of things there are on these shelves here. Crockery, footwear, clocks, and watches. Almost anything you care to imagine. Those are forfeited items offered for sale by the pawnbroker. What does that really mean, though? When you pawn or colloquially pop an item, the broker loans you money against its worth. He stores the item for an agreed period of time, after which the loan must be repaid. If not, he is free to display it in his shop for sale at a price of his choosing. Oh yes, now you've explained it. I'm noticing little price tags on everything. Of course, simply by paying the agreed interest on the loan, one can extend the period of safekeeping. So you may pawn that black garb of yours without fear, my dear fellow. My treasured university uniform? Never! It embodies my student spirit. Okay, and then... Alright, what else to look at? So we did that. Nothing here. Okay, good. I was afraid it was gonna be like every little tiny thing in here, but that's good. Okay. This. Look at this! What could this lovely big shiny box be? That, my dear madame, is a music box. Surely you have such things in your own country. Oh my, yes, but I've certainly never seen one so large before. Shall we listen a while? Oh, music, yes. Aw, it's so nice. Oh, what a sublime sound. It's like the music of angels. I've never heard anything like it before in my life. This particular specimen is of the larger variety, commonly found in public houses and restaurants. There is a metal disc inside on which the notes to be played are recorded. Simply by replacing the disc with another, any music you care to imagine can be played. My goodness, what a simply delightful machine. Indeed, though their popularity has waned recently with the development of the gramophone, of course. Science and technology advance at such an overwhelming pace. What? Only 2 pence for it? That ain't fair, and you know it. The article is barely worth a penny, miss. I cannot afford more. What's happening? Sounds like there's an argument brewing over by the counter. Come on, that can't be right. Have you even had a proper butcher's at it? I've seen all I need to see, young girl. Of course it's you. Okay, I had a feeling with the language. Wait, don't we know? I'm sure I recognize her. Oh yes, it's the young lady from Mr. McGilda's trial 2 months ago. Yep. Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer, earns her crust among large crowds, relieving people of their purses. What's commonly called a pickpocket. Of course. Yeah, she had the gun, bang bang. What's up, Gina? Gordon Bennett, you lot. Why do you still have the gun? Hello, Miss Lestrade. I hope you've been well. Oh, what? You remember me then, do ya? Well, I remember being completely surrounded by smoke, that's for sure. So, what are you doing in here? Down and out like the rest of us? Nothing to eat? Come to pop that black weasel? Sorry coat, have ya? Why do they keep roasting his coat for his uniform? What is it about this black uniform that makes everyone comment on it? Ah, good day, unless I'm much mistaken. You would be the young pickpocket who stole our experimental smoke grenade launcher. Again, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, wait, it's not again, it's Mr. Sholmes, I'm tired. I can't read. So, you have something of value to pawn, do you? Allow me to see the article, and I shall negotiate with Mr. Windibank on your behalf. Pull the other one. I don't need no help from some stucky-up D. Get out of my business. Go on, or I'll make trouble for you. As you wish, Miss Lestrade. I will happily remove myself from your presence. At least he was nice to do it. He's really done it. He's gone. I'm sorry, but as I said, there really is no room for negotiation here. What is that thing he has in his hand? Some kind of metal disc? And you, go on. Leave me alone. Oh, Miss Lestrade, just pretend we weren't here. We shan't be offended in the slightest. That's not gonna work with her. Suzaku-san can really stand her ground when she wants to. Whatever. Oh god, alright, this is a good place to stop. And let's go ahead and... Save. Save. Alright, anyways. Oh, that was a good session, guys. But thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I had loads of fun. We finally solved that one case, and then now we're leading up into a new case, which is great. But yeah, other than that, I will see you guys later. Have an awesome night, and I will see you tomorrow for some more Ace Attorney. Bye-bye!